Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. My name is Rani Apriyanti. I'm a student at IKIP Siliwangi. And my NPM is 20, 22, 01, and 08. Here I will review the English textbook for class 1 junior high school. Uses one of the textbook assessment format that is Alwasilah 97. Here I will review Bahasa Inggris for 7th grade. This is there is Coursebook assessment. First is book title. Like I told before, I choose Bahasa Inggris when English rings a bell. So the author is Mrs. Siti Wahdia. So Mr. Asep Gunawan. So Miss Diantari and Miss Yuli Rulani Fatimah. So for the editor is Dr. Randa Singh Prajoga MPD or MPD. So for publisher is Pusat Kurikulum and Perbukuan Balitbang Kemendikbud. And for publication year is 2017, and for ISBN is 978-602-282-9768. Number of page is 194. So for book type is student book. Volume is 7 and forward by writer. This evaluation included of content, technical quality, and sport, proofs, and decision. First, we talk about content or book. First content is subject are present while giving scope and sustainably educate. I choose good because this book has variety of many explanation and example that are very easy to understand. So learning principles have been involved in developing teaching material. For example, a simple before complex. It is good because the explanation not too complicated, and the material in each chapter is present, logical and clear. Same with the second remarks, because the explanation is not too hard to understand. Then I think is very easy to understand for student for grade 7 of junior high school. So teaching material have rich tools, set communicative approach. I just go to because the teaching material triggers students to be unactive communicating. So the content is clearly displayed in the table of the content. The number of pages is clear. The title and subtitle of the chapter provides a clear picture of the content, and the table of content is consistent with the content of the book. I choose average. Why? Because in the table of the content, most are not really specific explanation, but just some page, not at all. So the second content, two contents is teaching aids are available for students. For example, is staff, VCD, worksheet. There is list of words. Is glossary. There are two tools for the pronunciation of the word. I choose word because I don't find the teaching aids in this book, or maybe is not available the teaching aids in this book. So exercise and activities with the aid of students. I choose good because the exercise isn't hard to do. So vocabulary and presentation are suitable for students. I choose good too because the vocabulary is easier to understanding. The vocab in this book is vocabularies that we often listen. Then I think the vocab is simple, not hard to memorize. So next, teaching material are free of racial issues and taboos is good also because I don't find there is material that have taboo or racial issues, and this is good for student. So material presentation aroused the curiosity of the student. I just average. Why? Because the material not really aroused the curiosity of the student. The second is technical quality. First is the size of the book is suitable with the interest of the student. I choose effort because the size of book does not really interest. I asked my student, are you interested with this book? And she say not really. Then this book I think not good and not great for the student. And the second is its film are strong and durable. I choose effort because the film are not really strong and durable, easily intimidated. So cover and display are interesting. I choose poor because the cover and display are not interesting. I asked my student, are you interested with this book, with this cover? And she answered, I'm not interested in this book. Do you want to study about this book? And she answered, I think no. Okay, we continue. The paper is durable and quick. I choose poor because the paper isn't durable and quick. So printing are clear and easy to read. I choose good because the printing is clear and easy to read. So font size matches the age of the student. I choose poor because the size doesn't match that of student because there is a font size too small. I have found in some page there are small font, and I think the student will hard to read, and then I just work for the font size. So next, the page layout is well designed. I choose good because the page layout is well designed. So the distance between rows and makes the student I choose poor because they are rows that are so close each other. Okay, next we still in technical quality. For first is illustration, map, graphic, art or photographic quality. I choose effort because there is color in its illustration, not match. So a good balance between artistic technique and educational value. I choose good because artistic technique and educational value are balanced. So illustration and caption corresponds to the learning objective. I choose good. There are no illustration and description that are not in accordance with the learning objective. So illustration pass appropriately to obtain optimal benefit. I choose good too because the illustration are optimal benefit. So number of illustration and interesting is enough. I choose average because the number of illustration isn't really interesting for the student but not bad either. So the third is other sport. For other sport, first is the author and publisher of this has good reputation. I agree with this statement and I give the view is good because the author have had quite a lot of work in the past 10 years. So this book has been reviewed well by experts in this field. I agree and I give the view is good because the reviewer is expert in the field. So for aid or for students are provided, I didn't know because I don't find aid for teaching in the school. So practical and provocative teaching advice, I choose good because in this English textbook there is teacher's book, and then the book for teachers and the book for students is different books. And I think the teacher can use the book for teaching advice. So establish guidelines for teacher to present material. Yeah, this statement there is in English for teacher. So bibliography server useful for teacher. I just good because the teacher can access the bibliography, and for class is program evaluation is provided. I just good because I don't find or maybe not available the program evaluation. For the fourth is proofs. Okay, proofs are important with the teaching material. I choose proof. For all the proofs, I choose proof because I don't find there is proof like visual, like VCD, worksheet, or or proofs are quite important and interesting for students. I don't find because no proofs in this book. Then the teacher must give some teaching material that the teacher can find the proofs from other. Then this book not available or don't provided the the proofs. And the last is decision. And this is decision. I choose good because this is not really bad news, and this is can use but not good too, and not bad and not really good. I think this is enough and can use for the student. Maybe this all from me. Thank you for your attention. I'm sorry, maybe there are many mistake. That's all from me, and thank you. Finally, I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.